WREG in Memphis. This is News Channel 3 at 6.
Breaking news first at 6. A Hickory Hill intersection is shut down during rush hour after a garbage truck crash. Good evening. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. To add to the chaos that's happened around rush hour, the truck pulled out power lines at Hickory Hill and Winchester. WREG's Stacey Jacobson is live on the scene. Stacey, kind of explain how this happened.
Well, Stephanie, first I just want to show you what it looks like here. You can see this intersection is completely shut down. No cars getting through. You can see there are several types of emergency vehicles that are blocking it so that no one can get through. And as you said, this is on the way home. It's during rush hour. So now I'm going to take you over here and just show you the line of cars that are being detoured around the intersection. We've talked to several people here who say they're just trying to get home, and this is causing some major delays. We're going to show you video from earlier today around lunchtime when our cameras caught what you referenced happening. A trash truck driving through snagged a power line above it and dragged it down, leaving a lot of destruction behind. We saw wires that were on top of cars. We talked to people out here who said they have never seen anything like this and that it should have been preventable. Now, obviously, that's understandable for them to say. We've reached out to Memphis police to try to get an explanation and find out how long this intersection will be shut down. We're still waiting to get answers, and we'll update you on social media and on air as soon as we do. We're live in Hickory Hill. Stacey Jacobson, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, we'll stay on top of it. Stacey, thanks. An armed robbery spree in a stolen car ends in gunfire, and so far, one arrest. Another big story topping the news at 6.
WREG's Jessica Gertler found out more about the victims, and as it turns out, there is one thing that they all have in common.
A man told police he was leaving work in Midtown around 2:15 Monday morning. He was at Madison and Edgewood when he says a banged-up white Altima pulled up. He claims 3 armed men then jumped out, demanded he get on the ground, and hit him in the head with a gun. They took his phone, backpack, and wallet. Later that night around 10, police got a call in Hickory Hill. This time, a man says he had just closed up his business here at C&P Beauty Supply. He says he was in the parking lot when 2 men came up to him armed with guns and took his wallet. He described a similar getaway car.
Scary, because it could be me.
An uneasy feeling crept across the city when another robbery happened about an hour later in a shopping center on Covington near Stage. Same story, a man and woman were leaving work when a group of men jumped out of a white damaged car. They flashed guns, demanded money, and shot the male victim. His family didn't want to do an interview, but told us he's doing okay.
This is my neighborhood, and you really don't want to see a lot of violence in your own neighborhood, especially places that you frequent all the time.
Police say Jimmy Jackson is now behind bars on a long list of charges, including several counts of aggravated robbery and for stealing the car used on his crime spree. Investigators are still trying to find the others involved.
Too close to home. Just got to be careful. You got to watch your surroundings.
Jessica Gertler, WREG, News Channel 3.
Police say Jackson admitted to committing the crimes. He's due in court tomorrow. We'll let you know when police make any more arrests.
2 North Memphis homes have been boarded up today after being ruled public nuisances. Memphis police say there have been at least 30 calls for crimes at the homes located on Decatur Street in the past 2 years. Many of those crimes involve drug trafficking of cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. Police have also responded to aggravated assaults, robbery, prostitution, and car thefts there. The homeowners will have an opportunity to appeal the ruling in court next week.
And not far away from those homes, 11 people were busted in a drug raid. Police say they were operating out of a drug house in the 2200 block of Eldridge in North Memphis.
But as WRG's Melissa Moon explains, they may still be in business.
Memphis police got a tip this house on Eldridge was being used for selling drugs and gambling, and yesterday arrested 11 men who ran from them, all of them between the ages of 28 and 64.
I ain't nothing new. I've been in this area a little over 15 years.
Inside the house, police found a bag of cocaine, several individual baggies of marijuana, digital scales, and a gun.
They need to search the whole neighborhood. It's not just one house.
This man who owns a corner convenience store says he sees people selling drugs all the time outside his business, and it's leading to more crime.
The people carrying weapons. You're gonna see here 14 years old with his weapon in his pocket. Because they selling drugs, they need to protect themselves.
Police say from the condition of this house and the fact there's little furniture inside, it appears no one lives here. But today we heard a television and someone look out the window, but they didn't answer the door. The 11 arrested are now facing felony drug charges, but people we talked to say it won't be long until they're back on the streets, likely selling more drugs.
In 3 days, I promise you can put a bit over here. I promise you, in 3 days, they're gonna be here with no bounds.
He says, among other things, they need police in this neighborhood every day to get a handle on the problem. In North Memphis, Melissa Moon, WREG, News Channel 3.
The men's bonds range from $40,000 to $150,000.
New information tonight. 2 Tennessee state lawmakers are writing a bill to legalize medical marijuana. State Senator Steve Dickerson and Representative Brian Terry have written the framework for the legislation that allows Tennesseans to get the drug, but only for certain medical conditions. Last year, a similar bill passed through several committees before being killed in a Senate committee. That bill was also sponsored by Senator Dickerson.
All right, time now to talk weather. And you know, we waited quite a while for fall to finally get here, and now it seems like it's just going to be over before we know it.
The cold weather is on the way. WREG's weather expert Tim Simpson is here now to show us how the winter temps are going to sneak in on us tonight, Tim.
That's right. Cold temperatures tonight, but the coldest numbers are coming in tomorrow night into early Saturday morning, which is why this freeze warning has been issued by the National Weather Service across all of the News Channel 3 viewing area. This is going to go until Saturday morning at 9 a.m. No precipitation right now in Storm Tracker 3S. Clean sweep all across the Mid-South. The clouds have moved into the area, but the rain is still just a ways off here. We're seeing some showers work across parts of Arkansas heading our way. We will not pick up some of this frozen precipitation that they're seeing up near Kansas City in the form of snow, but we will pick up those colder temperatures associated with that. 58 right now in Memphis, 50 Dyersburg, 51 Jackson, 57 degrees in Clarksdale. Coming up in just a few moments, I'll tell you just how cold it's going to get this weekend. Stephanie?
All right, thank you, Tim. Well, now to a breaking news update. Tonight, a Midtown man has been indicted on second-degree murder charges after being accused of shooting a woman in the face. Evan Riles is accused of shooting a woman during an argument outside of his apartment in Overton Square in July. Police say they found the 37-year-old victim in the driver's seat of a car with a gunshot wound to her cheek. She died 3 days later. Riles is currently free on a $40,000 bond.
Another Memphis man has been indicted on first-degree murder charges more than a year after his wife's body was found in a towing company's lot. Investigators believe Melvin Somerville shot his wife multiple times, then put her body in the trunk of her own car. 42-year-old Anitra Jones Somerville disappeared around March 28th of 2017. Her body was discovered a few days later when a repo company towed the car from North Memphis to Horn Lake. Melvin Somerville is currently being held in jail without bond.
Memphis police say they are now investigating a missing man's death as a homicide. Sean Clay was last seen leaving his home Thursday, September 27th. The next week, police say they found his 2003 Chevy Impala, but Clay was nowhere to be found. WREG later found out police found a body that was identified as Clay shortly after his car was found. His family told WREG his disappearance just didn't make sense, especially after they say police told them Clay's car had been involved in a hit and run 2 days after he was last seen. And they were right. Now police are looking for his killer.
Questions tonight surrounding a prominent elected official. That's because he's working multiple jobs and you're paying his salary for each one.
WREG's Andrew Ellison explains why some are worried that taxpayers won't get enough bang for their buck.
Edmund Ford Jr. is a busy guy. He's currently working 4 jobs, and you're paying his salary for each one. Randy Haspel says that's too many.
Don't quadruple dip.
Ford was recently hired as financial literacy coordinator for Memphis Public Libraries, a job that pays $78,000 a year. He's also currently a city councilman and county commissioner, which both pay about $29,000 a year. Lastly, he's a math teacher at Central High School. His salary for that job unclear.
That's too many on the county's dime. That's too much.
And city's dime.
Right, in the city's dime.
Ford was elected to the county commission in August and is supposed to resign his city council seat by November 26th. County Commission Chair Van Turner says Ford is also going to resign his teaching position, which would cut his number of publicly funded jobs to 2. Turner is confident Ford can handle his duties at the library and on the commission, saying he's juggled his time between teaching and city council effectively.
I think it would be a different situation if there had been issues with time management or him not showing up to meetings or him not being a full participant in what was going on. But, you know, you've never seen or heard of that from Commissioner Ford.
Haspel would be happier with Ford working 2 jobs, but is still a little skeptical.
I hope he's got enough time.
Because taxpayers are paying him, right?
Well, that's right.
Work to be done, and it's on your dime. Andrew Ellison, WREG News, Channel 3.
Now, we've called and texted Ford for comment on his multiple jobs, but we have not heard back.
It's the kind of thing that could make or break your makeup look. Your eyebrows. And while many are going to extremes to make sure theirs look good, some trends could have deadly consequences like microblading. It's pretty much a semi-permanent eyebrow tattoo. You go for an initial service and then for a few follow-ups. It costs anywhere from $300 to $800 and lasts about 2 years.
With microblading, you're using a blade and you're giving hair-like strokes throughout the brow to give the illusion of hair strokes.
It sounds like the perfect solution for those who struggle to get the perfect look. But tonight on the news at 10, Chief Consumer Investigator Zanetta Lowe shares an important warning for women who are considering getting it done.
A church break-in leaves a community in shock with more questions than answers. Next on the news at 6, find out what the man did while in the church and what he was wearing that's causing the most confusion.
And if you see news happening in your neighborhood, let us know. You can call WREG at 901-543-2333 or send an email to newstips@WREG.com.
Your number 1 6 p.m. newscast, WREG News Channel 3.